your mind is okay. Off your mind, what you sound like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun la wa mo la mo do. Maiyegun diary, number one.
Good afternoon to you, good morning to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. And thanks for joining me. This is Maiyegun Live.
Maiyegun today, oh, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun diary, number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary, number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun dá wa sí. Maiyegun diary.
Tonight, I want to use my own first hour to advocate for the emancipation of the Yoruba people, the self-determination of the Yoruba people, and why every one of us should key into it. Every one of us, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, no matter your age or creed, no matter your political association, when you hear about Yoruba nation, you should key into it. I want to tell you why. You should stop ignoring this. I have a good news for you. Something just to help cheer you up a bit tonight. You have been reading about the news in the, online, most especially online, about the health concern and health condition of Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, his health situation is called for concern especially from his lawyer who raised the alarm. There's also something to share up about from another source who also visited Nnamdi Kanu, and he has a message, and part of his message is that he is very strong and resolute. He calls for the unity of all the Biafrans and the IPOB members worldwide, right? And he said, you should do everything to avoid disunity that is steady, strong, stable, and pretty much still standing. Yes, its health concern is making headlines, but that too says, well, the spirit is not dampened, and that's something I would love to share with you tonight. Thank you very much. Also in the news, the Nigerian Daura Secret Service, they also did as they always do. And what is that? They have kidnapped 3 Israelis. Do you know why? There are 3 Israelis from Israel who are filmmakers, and they've been in Nigeria for the past 3 or 4 days, and they have been meeting with, they are filming about the lost Jews. And as a filmmaker, following the historical connection with the, with the Biafrans, so they have been in Biafra land for the past 3 or 5, about a week, so to say. However, the Nigerian Secret Service, the Daura Secret Service, they have kidnapped them, and they have also bundled them into the DSS cell, beating them up, and all of that. That has now escalated even in Israel. You should know about that tonight too. Thank you so much, everyone who has shared the broadcast. To my friends on YouTube, who have also dropped their thumb up just before we get started. Thank you. Yes, I said I am going to use my first hour to tell you, to try my best to convince you why the ideal thing that everybody should be promoting and standing up for right now is the Yoruba autonomy. And that is going to open a lot of a Pandora box. A lot is going to happen while we do that. And this is why Nigeria is not for you. It's not for me. The way Nigeria is arranged will continue to make our people poor. It will continue to make our development delayed and denied. And the only way to opt out of this is for us to identify why has it become so cumbersome, so impossible to help our people lead a better life, even in Yoruba land. It's not far-fetched. The arrangement that takes away over 90% of your resources to feed other regions and other areas, with you having no say, that lead you to debt, a debt that generations will not be able to pay. Some people are saying, why can't those who are asking to break up Nigeria, why can't they join politics? Politics never work, especially your electoral system in Nigeria, never really work for those who are participating in it right now. And the reason why is not far-fetched. An arrangement that does not give you the right, the real right, to choose who represents you, right? And also a demographic partition that gives some people this level of superiority in representation and in everything with absolute nothing to present or to present for that. I'm talking about those who claim to be the leaders of the northern Nigeria. So their development is delayed because of corruption, and therefore the development of the rest of us have to be delayed because of their own corruption, which is also boosted or supported by those who claim to be representing us. We have no way of getting the right people to indeed represent us. How? they have a political system in Nigeria. When they say do it rightly, or why can't you do it rightly, or do it the right way? The right way is that if people can indeed vote, let's start with the census of how many people are actually living in Nigeria. And why should the population of certain area swallow the interest and the concerns of other areas, even if they are smaller in size? It is arrangement. They made it so easier to make you believe that northern Nigeria is bigger than the southern Nigeria in population, but nobody can prove it. They continue to allocate numbers that gives them the leverage to choose and demand for more in order to help them out of their own self-inflicted economic strangulation. So when these rigged numbers of census says they are more than the South, and if you look at the whole world map, right, in every country you get to, when you are in southern part of that country, which is the part that is busier with more people, as you are approaching the up north of that country, the population will begin to dwindle, and it will begin to dwindle, and on like that, until you get to probably desert or another just open land. But in Nigeria, they made you believe that the northern Nigeria is so more, and there are so many that, but when you are beginning to come to the south, yeah, the population begin to reduce and reduce and reduce. Nobody could really fight that. You know why? As long as what they promised those who are supposed to fight for it, especially from the southern Nigeria, your representatives, forget the number for now. I mean, when you have people who actually stand up fighting for these things, people who really want to unlock the poverty, to unlock their people from poverty cage, they know what to do, which means the distribution, the arrangement is so wrong. For example, again, as Southerners, you have no right, not even your state government, have any right to extract any mineral resources from that state, from any part of the state. They are all owned by the federal government, controlled by the Fulani Caliphate. So those who are supposed to go there and speak for us, they were rigged there. The system allowed them to be rigged there. The selection process through their political system allowed them to rig that. And since those who are benefiting from it from the South are comfortable with that arrangement, it is difficult for them to go to the Abuja and say they want to speak about the limitation and the delayed development and growth of the people of the southern Nigeria. They won't be able to. And how do they get there? You know their selection process. Wrong population that give them these wrong figures here and there, that gives some people the sense of we can hold power anywhere we want to hold power, which is false. There's no scientific proof that population of Nigeria is 200 million. But we continue to enjoy that, to brandish the numbers anyway, because every time if you want to know about what is the latest population of Nigeria, it will come from the National Bureau of Statistics, influenced by this same Fulani oligarch, which will eventually tell you, oh, the population growth of 30 million to Nigeria, only 5 million people grew up in southern Nigeria. The rest are from the northern Nigeria. And they are doing everything to link Niger, Chad, all these places with Nigeria. People can walk in anytime they want. But you can walk into Mali, Chad, Niger as you want from southern Nigeria. Now, they are not going to, the process that popped them up. If you want people who can make a difference to be part of a system they want to change, then you have to change the fraudulent representation that says, oh, electoral system that allows INEC, a National Electoral Commission, to be the one to register you for votes. They are the ones to also give you voters card. They are the ones to also allocate your voting location. And they have control all over this. And over time, they have done it again and again, whereby those of you who have voters card, your voters card becomes so useless on the election day because you can't find your name, or the what do you call it? The thumb scanner can't find your thumbprint. But in northern Nigeria, children, you will see them on the queue on election day. Children between the ages of 7 and 10 holding voters card. Why some of you actually struggles for it? They allocate the numbers. They know what is expected from where and where. They know how to shut them down. And that is why when people demanded that they should have an electoral reform, let me tell you what would have happened if Nigeria was to be a proper country and people would do the things rightly, right? You see the numbers of people that believe in Biafra, yeah? They are big enough. They are big enough to take over the political space of the Eastern Nigeria. But they are smart enough to know that it would be foolish of them to do that under this arrangement. You know why? Because the Fulanis know they can rig it for their PDP, APC, and everybody they want to rig it for. And they would then say, well, Shebi, you have tried your luck. You couldn't defeat us in an election. That is why the IPOB won't. But in a better arrangement, you know what would have happened? The IPOB would have been a political party. A political party that represents the Igbo people. So if you believe that you are Igbo enough and you are not ashamed of it, you will, you know, if you see the numbers of IPOB members all over the world, right? That alone will give you an idea of the power they wield if the arrangement in Nigeria is better arranged than this nonsense. So let's say they have the chance of setting up their own political party. They are able to have their members from everywhere. Their soldiers are not shooting at. Soldiers are not arresting them at their meetings. Imagine what it will be in 6 months. And then you go into an election. Their members registered to vote. Their votes, their registration is easier and it's not controlled by any Fulani oligarch anywhere. That means they have their destiny in their own hands, Abi. Now, they will be able to elect for every seat that is given to the Eastern Nigeria, including the areas where some of these PDP governors, APC governors, and the rest are telling you that some people are Igbos, some states are not Igbos, right? If the arrangement is better, you will have Biafra IPOB candidates running for seats, running for different seats, including governors of Rivers State, of everywhere. Now, imagine if the whole thing is actually what it should be. It will take the IPOB political party, it will take them just 1 year, give them just 1 year to an election. They will control everywhere. They will produce all the governors in all many states that you would never believe. They will produce all the reps, all the senators with the agenda of what? Biafra, self-determination. That's something that Nigeria can never risk. That is why they will never allow you to register a political party in the name of your own nationality. You are Igbo, you are Biafran, I am a Yoruba man, I'm from Oduduwa land. You have who you are from where you come from until they told you to bury your identity and pick up Nigeria identity. The same identity they told you is also owned by all the Fulanis from West Africa and from all over Africa. As long as they are Fulanis, they are welcome because Nigeria is their country. That is the identity they said you should take. And that is why many people didn't participate. So imagine it for a second. When Awolowo wanted to lead the Yorubas, you know what he did? He did not start a political party called National Political Party. No. He started a political party purposely for the Yoruba people. Their agenda, their manifesto, their program, their way, everything was tailored and programmed towards the Yoruba expectation. And that won the heart of the many, many Yorubas, the scholars, the artisans, the educated, not so educated, young, old, to believe that if this is what Awolowo wants to do, then we can believe in it. They don't have to worry about Zamfara. They don't have to worry about Kanu. They don't even have to worry about whoever becomes Nigeria president. They don't care. They never cared. That is what gives an identity. That is what will make people like me say, oh, I want to go back home. And we want to promote a pro-Yoruba nationalist party that all Yorubas all over the world can what? Can easily associate with. Yorubas from Oshun, Yorubas from Oyo, Yorubas from Egba, Yorubas from Ondo, Ekiti, from everywhere. Then you can easily say, so you will be able to know those who are one Nigeria then. Because they will need to convince you to believe in one Nigeria when you have a political party that is telling you and caring for what concerns Yoruba, where they don't have to give a damn about how Kanu will fund their Isba, or how Zamfara is going to fund their Sharia, or how Borono is going to fund their Boko Haram. You don't have to worry. Now, when you begin to have that, and people don't have to begin to say, hey, we want to be president of who? Of where? So that you can be like Buhari. You too can begin to live in that, continue to live in that poverty, continue to live in that fear. Just continue to brag that you have a president who is from your tribe, where you cannot even sleep in your village. So imagine that. Ìlànà Ọmọ Odùduwà would have been a political organization that can convince every Yoruba son and daughter to believe in the Yoruba nationalist agenda through a Yoruba nationalist party, where people can say, I am a member of Yoruba nationalist party. A political party from the western, from Yoruba land, the western part of Nigeria, who are pretty much interested, every of their representative, every person in that party who is in any political office, wherever you find him or her, is talking about what Yoruba wants, not what Nigeria wants. Do you understand that? That is how it would have been. And that is what me and you should begin to push towards now. Because you see, we are going to lose out a lot. We're going to lose out a lot. Because when you begin to have people who are genuinely representing their people, imagine for a minute, right, that all of the 5 state governors in the southeast right now, just imagine for a minute that they are members of Biafra Nationalist Party. For a second, let's say Imo State, the governor of Imo State, is BNP member. The Imo State House of Assembly, the speaker, everybody, the majority there, they are members of BNP, Biafra Nationalist Party. And same in Enugu, same in Ebonyi, same in Anambra, same in Abia. Just imagine that for a moment and tell me how convenient it will be for any Fulani madman simply because he's in charge of military. Tell me how convenient it's going to be for him to send soldiers to come down to your land and start hunting innocent people, killing people in their sleep, attacking innocent people in their homes, burning down properties, and kidnapping young people that they have made disappear today simply because they are Biafran. Imagine that for a minute. Imagine if the Nigerian army can dare come down to Biafra land, any of these states, and start hunting down the members of Eastern Security Network. Imagine that for a minute. But the system is rigged enough to prevent you from getting to that stage. That is why IPOB cannot be a political party, not under this arrangement. Any arrangement that says the Igala people cannot have their own Igala Progressive Party, that Ijo people cannot have their own Ijo Nationalist Party, Urobo, Ishekiri. Who says you can't have yours? And you know what that would do? That would have done, right? That would have, gotten rid of all these lies about northern supremacy, northern power, northern this or that. It would have rubbished all of that. You know why? Because everybody you will see in that National Assembly of Nigeria, they will be representing every ethnic nationality from Nigeria. It will be so difficult for any political party to claim majority from anywhere. Imagine,
And that is why people say, how do you do that then, Maiyegun? It's going to be in two ways. The first one, which is the best one, is for the entire region, people from each part of Nigeria to begin to think of who they are, to know who they are before Nigeria is foisted on you. And when you look at this image of Nigeria, you will realize that it is a complete lost identity, a complete mismatch that should never continue this way. And with that, when people begin to agree with that, and they will say, no, we don't want election in 2023. We want, now that you guys are talking about a constitutional amendment, now we want this, and that included in that constitution, including a referendum that will allow every nationality from every part of Nigeria to decide what will be the terms and conditions of continuing to be with Nigeria. When you do that, that will be a bold move. That even when the Fulanis who believed that Nigeria was supposed to be the estate of their forefathers, Uthman Dan Fodio, a sort of a false dream, something the political class continue to message they continue to pass to the younger generation, something that is so wrong, and then they are leading them onto a course of jihad, something that is so alien to other nationalities from Nigeria who are part of Nigeria. So you know what that would do? That would then break the chain of PDP, APC completely. So it is now left for everyone then from each part of that nationality, from every part, to see how much of people you can now push to what then will be your National Assembly. And then how do you now collaborate together based on your common, what do you call it? Everything that you have as a common ground. How do you now build on them to finally push for the autonomy that you deserve? That is why I said breaking up of Nigeria is a process. That is the first one, the best one, a long one, but the very, very right one. The other one of how to break up Nigeria is war. How? It is not because the southern Nigeria will ask for war, but southern Nigeria must be prepared for war if they want to take that path. And at the end of the day, even if a path of war is taken, everything will still have to end up on the negotiation table. Igbos, Hausas, Fulanis, Yorubas, Ibibios, Efik, Ijos, Yorubas, everybody from everywhere will have to come together down to the negotiation table and say, okay, now that we have killed ourselves, what do we do now to finally break up? Then you will come to that conclusion. That's why I said the first one is the best option. The second one is something that is preventable if we can all agree on the first one, where the Biafrans can be on the table and say, we want to put it to test. If you have an election that is credible, let's start with that. If the election is credible, that people can genuinely choose who they want. I mean, where people don't need the blessings of any godfather from all these corrupt, rotting political parties, right? Where people can indeed group themselves and say, we are going to take over Yoruba land. How do we do it? Let us build a very strong one. Ilanomo Odudua, lead us, and we're going to bring everybody under you politically. Now that we know that if we vote, if we register to vote, everyone who registers to vote will get their vote. And not because it is going to be processed by any Fulani from Abuja, it is because we are going to process that in Yoruba land, on our own land. Everyone who is eligible to register to vote is registered to vote. And then we can float a Yoruba nationalist party, something that can then bring all of us all together, where you can then have clear leaders with clear political mandate, take us out of Nigeria. Can you take us out of Nigeria? Yes, we can take you out of Nigeria. How would you do it? Show it to us. Then give us the power. How? Go on and vote, because we'll make sure your vote counts. I know that is something that is far-fetched, right? Maiyegun, you are wasting your time. Don't talk about election. You are not listening to me. If that is what you think, you are not listening to me. People can do it right, but we won't do it right or the right way, controlled by these criminals, because when they say go and do it rightly, you don't go into an arrangement like this where you know you will be rigged out. What you will do then when you participate is that what? You will validate what is happening, what they will do. and you will never be able to challenge them anymore. That is why we also want to use our own advocacy to let every Yoruba son and daughter know that when you hear about Yoruba nation, it is the big demand that will force them to give Yoruba autonomy, a process that will eventually lead to Yoruba nation. It is a process that can prevent war, but Fulanis want war. We all know that. But if the South doesn't want war, should not make the South not prepare for one. Not preparing for war is as good as committing suicide, even when you feel like you can wait. No, you can't. The time is running out. We have those saboteurs that they have put around us. So people can participate, of course. People can register. People can return to Nigeria. I will return back to Oduduwa land. I will travel all over the world and tell everybody to go back in and register to be part of a referendum that will decide the position of the Yoruba people in Nigeria and the future of the Yoruba people in Nigeria. A political party set up by the Yorubas. I'm talking about the one that is indeed with a Yoruba name, nothing with Nigeria name. When you have a electoral system that allows that. But for now, you don't. That is why when the Yoruba governors demanded for regional system of government, it's pretty much like, yeah, let's push them to ask for more. If they will want regional system, definitely they can also demand for referendum. But the Yoruba governors are doing that, we can see, but we can't find the Igbo governors yet, which is sad. We can't. But it is going to happen. It is a matter of time. Why should the Yorubas leave Nigeria is the question some people have been asking. Some questions that some people have emotionally replied or responded to, but they also miss the point. You cannot use emotion to explain why Yorubas deserve better and why we can do it on our own. You cannot just use your emotion to convince anyone for that. I'm going to try my best tonight to tell you why Yoruba deserves better and how can Yoruba get it better. It is by taking a stand first. You deserve better because before this advent of this whole rigged system, we're from the tribe, the nationality, something that united us. Awolowo coined that unity of Oduduwa nation. It was Awolowo. Before Awolowo came, and it was a goodwill movement because it was only Awolowo that could make all the Yorubas, well, almost all the Yorubas, united politically against the colonialists, whereby it didn't just make the Yorubas agree, it made Yorubas leave his policies, which means Yorubas were part and parcel of his policies, his thinking and everything. So this bond and unity made it easier for the Yorubas to say we are from the Oduduwa land. But of course, we all have our own historical background from everywhere. I am from Ijebu land. There will be Ijebus that will tell you that they are not in any way related to Oduduwa. Of course, there are historical things that will also link to that. But Awolowo made a political bond that lived with us up to this day as Omo Oduduwa when they started Egbe Omo Oduduwa in London. Egbe Omo Oduduwa. That was what led to Action Group, the political party that was a pathfinder for the Yoruba people in this project Nigeria. Awolowo was so futuristic enough that his ideal of a prosperous, progressive, educated Yoruba land, he put them to practice. There was no oil. Yoruba started free and compulsory education, free qualitative education all over Yoruba land, which which made many Yoruba, sons and daughters to have access to education, something that eventually changed so many lives and so many homes, and still lives with us to this day. A legacy that the likes of Tifnumbu and co have destroyed. Today, that legacy of education is becoming a mirage. Getting educated right now is simply because just you want to know how to read and write. You would rather survive in the world of Tifnumbus and co by becoming a political nuisance, a political criminal, or a better part of their political manipulation that keep the Yoruba people poorer, uneducated, poorly educated, underdeveloped. That wasn't what the Yorubas were all about. We were never like that. We're supposed to be so big and better. We could use our own cocoa agriculture, cocoa money to build the first television station in Africa, first television station before France. We're able to run a free medical system, a free educational system, despite the limitation of funds at that time. We're building, we're growing. It got truncated. We found ourselves here. And every corner in Yoruba land, you have every tout there that are pretty much as popular as their state governors. The legacy that they stole from us, the legacy they are now living for the generation coming, simply because we are part of Nigeria. All of these things that gave us this freedom were taken away from us when they forced us to be part of Nigeria. And everywhere of the product of those who have been speaking for us since then, they never spoke for us. They've been speaking for themselves. We're supposed to be bigger. We had our own farm settlement that could feed us. That was feeding us. Farm settlements, hundreds of thousands of hectares of farmlands, developed, growing. We were supposed to be independent of any goddamn body from any goddamn place. But they dragged that away from us. And today, we are poorer. Our young people are jobless. They are telling you that you are a failure at your age. They are telling you that you have failed simply because you are not like your other peers, our other peer, who probably are not better than you. Nigeria is rigged against you. It's rigged against you to the point that you have no right to choose who represents you. You have no say in who leads you. They don't speak for you. But we can make them speak for us. Yes, we can. What they did at Ladipo, what they did everywhere, they will continue to do all of that everywhere. But do you know that if we get it right, if the Yoruba governors who are pushing for regional system, if they have the collaboration of other people from the south, including Middle Belt and other parts of the north, yes, that may be the game breaker, the game changer, and we have to make them do it. Buhari has committed a lot of genocidal crime. It shouldn't go unpunished. It shouldn't. And the system to punish him is being eroded. These systems are being eroded by these criminals every day. And every day, our people are paying the supreme prices, falling into poverty, falling into the hands of a terrorist. We can't protect ourselves. And I used the narrative earlier, I think it was today, where I told you about the former Ogun State governor, Ibikunle Amosun, who is now the senator in Abuja, who single-handedly handed over 1,000 AK-47. So you can ask me, how did they manage to bring in AK-47 into Nigeria when they said it is illegal? But yet you will see the AK-47 in the hands of all of their political thugs whenever it is an election time. So why can't they just do the same thing to protect the Yoruba land? They want to be governor for long? Okay, fine. Can you please protect the Yoruba people first? Protect their interest, protect their economic survival. Do something that you will, at least, you can earn And people can say, yeah, you are doing it for us. If you can buy 1,000 guns to kill people during election, why can't you buy 1,000 or 10,000 guns to help us eliminate the terrorists who are now telling you that it is either you give them the land or you give them your life? It is sad, but it is true that the political class in Yoruba land, they are not different from any other political criminals from anywhere. If they can acquire ammunition for election, what stops them from getting this AK-47 into the country and get people protected? I like what this pastor had to say, just for me to have a break for a minute.
I've mentioned the economy, I've mentioned culture. You've got to go into politics and government deliberately. By the way, if we don't fix some of Nigeria's problems today, that is this INEC problem. I've said plainly, INEC, put me in trouble if you like, it is a fraud. The numbers in Nigeria, as far as census are concerned, and as far as election is concerned, are a lie. And if nobody will speak up about it, the righteous should speak. And our righteousness is not of ourselves. It is of him, and he will protect. Hallelujah. It is important. It is skewed now so that where the numbers are not properly reflected in our voting. This is the only country in West Africa where you move from the ocean to the desert and the numbers decrease, or rather, they increase. The only country. It's the only country in the world where you move from a large body of water to little or no water and the numbers increase. It was not Nigerians that started it. It was the parents of Nigeria who were not good parents. They were not good parents. The man, Lord Lugard, was a devil incarnate. And what he did to this country, we are suffering it many years later, and it's time that we must tell the truth. It's time we must tell the truth. It's absolute, we must. And those of you who benefit from the system, when the judgment comes, unless you extricate yourself in the righteousness of God, that's your own problem. You understand? And if you're in the system, you should behave like Robin Hood. Take from them and give it to the poor. You should have less so that they can have more. I have that sword in my office, the sword of what's his name? Lord of Locksley, Robin Hood. Why? Because part of my job is to make sure that the wealth of Nigeria is redistributed with an evenness. How do you do it? Not by giving the poor rice and oil at election time. Give them an education. And education in today's age does not have to be formal. We have tablets. We can do research and development and create curriculum.
And more. But did you hear that? The Nigeria of today is a scam. Until that is corrected, which they don't want to do, it will make them lose that power, that long-held sense of entitlement. They will lose it. And that is why they are bringing war. We don't ask for war. We are not asking for war. But they say, if you want peace, you must be prepared for war. That's a very popular saying, isn't it? If you want peace, you must be prepared for war. That's what I said. The South is not invading the North. The South is not asking for land from the people of the North. The South, they are not demanding for the piggery farms in the North. They are not demanding for ranches. The South, they are not demanding for the Granite Pyramid in the North. They are not demanding for anything in the North. It is the Fulani North that is intimidating the rest of the country that we must give land. And they actually pay people to say that to us. So that is why we said, I am from the South. My people have been killed. My people have been kidnapped. Farms have been ransacked. Farms have been destroyed. Communities have been ransacked. People have been killed in their homes, and many, many places have been burnt down. People have turned to refugees from my region, and they are living as refugees in another country today. But there's no record where anybody from the southern Nigeria is doing the same thing anywhere, or any group from southern Nigeria doing the same thing anywhere. But the reason why they are killing us is why? Because of land. And they told somebody. They bragged about it. If you have time, relax and watch this about 5-6 minutes clip.
It will give you an insight into why all Yorubas must know that whether you are PDP, whether you are APC, whether you are not doing anything, whether you are a Christian, a Muslim, or whether you are Babalawo, or Mamalawo, or Sisilawo, or Brotherlawo, or Junior Lawo, or Senior Lawo, whatever you are, it doesn't really matter. And even if you don't have anything like myself, just Mobolu Aduro, Tawakalitu, people like myself, we just, one man mopo in a way. You are not safe. You as a Yoruba man, you as a Biafran, you as an Ijo man, wherever you are from, know this and know peace. The reason why people will need to continue to demand for the renegotiation of this arrangement is because they are telling us that it is either our land or our lives. They said it to our faces and they are killing us now. They say once we die, would we be able to hold on to the land anymore? A Yoruba man said that, and the Miyetti Allah man backed him up.
And actually, I need to take you up on that. Let me give you a perspective.
Yes.
The state government or the governors can actually give lands for ranches, but is the federal government also concerned about the kind of consultations that may have gone on between the state government and the people living in those communities who have ancestral attachment to those plot of lands?
Ancestral attachment, you can only have attachment when you are alive. If you are talking of ancestral attachment, if you are dead, what does the attachment matter? What does it matter again? Ancestral attachment, you can only have attachment when you are alive. If you are talking of ancestral attachment, if you are dead, what does the attachment matter? What does it matter again? The National Economic Council that recommended ranching went around those states. It didn't just legislate it, there were consultations. So, if a state does not have land genuinely, it's understood. Not every state will have ranches. You don't have to have ranches in 36 states. So, if there's no land genuinely, fine. But where you have land and you can do something, please do for peace. What will the land be used for if those who own it are dead at the end of the day? What will the land be used for if those who own it are dead at the end of the day? What will the land be used for if those who own it are dead at the end of the day?
Now,
so,
talk again, going back to ranching and cattle colonies, we know that still going back to international conversations, the United Kingdom and even the World Bank have come out to say that Nigerian government has not yet asked for support from the Commonwealth nations, and that if they did, there are a litany of investments and ideas and people who could actually help in this area of solving the issue of ranching or cattle colonies, and they would do it willingly to see that the violence abates. But then how do we bring together the warring factions, whether be it those people who claim they have the land rights and those people who feel that they are marginalized even though they are indigents and have resided there for decades, which is one of the key points Miyetti Allah made here the other day. And the issues of castle rustling as well is part of the issue of the violence. It's not just the killing of the herders, of the farmers. How do communities begin to look at dispensing ethnocentric sentiments towards the issue of land and border rights, Mr. Femi, especially through the state government?
That is why you have community leaders. That is why you have traditional rulers. That is why you have local government chairmen. That is why you have states. These things must come up from there. But rather what we see is they are saying, federal government, come and do it. Federal government is so far from those places.
But is there any interaction between the federal and state government concerning what they are doing to resolve these primary core issues that are causing and stoking this ember of?
Yes, I just said it. The National Economic Council set up committees that went around the states, led by Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State. It went around all the states.
Unfortunately, I was going to ask you when the federal government will perhaps, maybe the president will perhaps give the go-ahead to the Inspector General of Police to reveal those politicians that are sponsoring the killings across the country.
And yes, I think the statement on community dialogue and, of course, the rural elder statesmen should come together to look at issues of land rights, especially as maybe people are also afraid to give over their lands, you know, for cohabitation, and how, you know, overwhelming that could be over the years.
Exactly. And the indigenship and citizenship question as well.
It's better, like somebody has said before, it's better to live on the land than to be under the land.
Under the land.
It's better, like somebody has said before, it's better to live on the land than to be under the land.
Under the land.
It's better, like somebody has said before, it's better to live on the land than to be under the land.
Under the land.
Well, Ibrahim Abdullahi is the National Assistant Secretary of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association. Thank you for coming on Sunrise Daily this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians.
You have said that this new crisis has caught you by surprise.
Yeah, it is surprising because we thought people would learn lessons.
You said they would. You thought they would learn lessons, and you said that these lessons were rooted in the 2011 crisis.
Exactly.
You also allege that this, you know, people are coming from the outside.
Yeah, and this is why the recent crisis started in a village called Ninte. Somebody, a farmer,
not Godogodo.
Ninte, yeah, in Godogodo Chiefdom. The village, the actual village is Ninte.
Okay.
In Godogodo Chiefdom. What really happened was that a farmer decided to go and farm along the stock routes, or to block the stock routes. And these stock routes were not even local stock routes, international stock routes. You know that a cow is just like water. If you build your house along the water, passage point, when there is flooding, you know what will happen. That water will not just go around because your house is there. It will just take out your house. The same thing, we have well-established, well-documented stock routes that have traversed the entire African continent. You can start from the Central African Republic, crossing Cameroon, Nigeria, into Benin Republic without even asking the cow, without even going in front of the cows. You just follow them, they will take you there. So a farmer decided out of his, I don't know, we call it mischief or whatever, to farm in that area, and an argument ensued between him with and a pastoralist who was plying that route. And it resulted into fight. Two of them got wounded. You know, the Ardo of the area, the Fulani leader of the area, took two of them to the hospital and paid the bills. When these stories spread, some youths within Ninte decided to retaliate. They killed that Ardo. They set him ablaze. They burned about 76, nomadic settlements. And that was the beginning of this crisis. So what we are saying is that we did not learn any lesson. Afterwards, people started blocking roads, killing people. People started blocking international stock routes. While we were trying to resolve 2011 crisis, appealing to those people that were affected, you are killing more people, That's why I said we have not learned any lesson from 2011.
So you do believe that there has been some quarrel, and that is what is at the bottom of this particular crisis.
Of course.
Gbogbo ala máa jẹ breakfast. Àsìkò tó ní kálukú máa jẹ tiẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. Summa billah.
Do you understand that? I decided to play that video. It's a big stretch, but I believe you picked the word for word, especially what Femi Adesina said. The two key things he said in that video, which was in 2018. Femi Adesina said, it is better to give your land, Abi, instead of your life. It is only if you are alive that you can claim link to our ancestral land.
The second thing is that it is better to live on the land than to live under the land. Our people are being killed. They are being killed. All across southern Nigeria, they are now living under the land because they won't give Ruga. They won't. And we are not allowed to protect ourselves. But all Ni of Ife, also have something to say. I know some of my friends are pretty much going to be like, oh, Maiyegun, remove this man, but is Oni or Nirisha. His words carries weight. This time around, he says something that I would love to remind you of. They is pretty much telling them, a time is coming. We will not be able to control our youth. We will not be able to tell them what to do. They will be completely out of hand. A time is coming. And I think I should share that with you before we proceed.
Every time we're talking the talk. We're talking the talk. Number 2 man, number 3 man, number 4 man, they are all saying the same thing the way His Eminence said it. And the participants are not faceless. They are not ghosts. It is very idiotic and stupidity for us to be doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. We will continue to get the same result. Let's be very truthful and honest to ourselves in this country. We all know the problems. How well are we carrying along these people in that age bracket who are representing that age bracket in this hall? The answer is no. We are not engaging them at all. But whenever we want to go for political posts, appointments, we go back to them. We know the good, we know the bad, and the ugly in their category. As traditional rulers, they are the most active in our system. Let us tell ourselves the truth. They are hungry and they are angry. I repeat, they are hungry and they are very angry. All of us that are here, I'll be very happy if anybody can raise up their hand and say, I can go to my area of constituents, my local governments, and I can stay there in peace for 1 week. Who can do it here? Including our gatekeepers. Who can do it here? Including the Senate President, including the Speaker. But you left the traditional rulers. You left district heads, the Baales, to continue to stay there. And you are saying all will be well in this country. We are the ones facing these youths. We know their problems. And we have been talking every time. You sit in beautiful offices and you all think all will be well. Let us be very truthful in this country. Look at this beautiful building. As beautiful.
We are hungry for development. We are hungry to be part of the future that we are going to be part of the plan and process of the future that we are going to feature in. We are hungry. We are angry. And that is exactly what defines us. We are in the majority. We are hungry. We are angry. And when this anger will unleash, even you shaking your head here.
Yeah. Anybody, stop shaking your head. Because that's sacrifice for you. You should stop shaking your head. You are one of those who are causing problem. They gave you chieftaincy, a young boy, so you don't even know what to do with it. And then when I'm speaking, you're shaking your head like this. Oh, fake. Causing problem everywhere. You just go and wear something that's bigger than you. When somebody looking for power, you would think that an elderly person, very small young man, this one. I know when I was in school, he was running around, going for errand. Now he's wearing Osman Danfodio. then you begin to breach a protocol.
Don't listen to me. I'm talking, you don't listen to me. Stop shaking your head. Stop shaking your head. Now, all of us go chop breakfast in waiting the ground now. But let me tell you something. People are doing the right thing. Advocacy, raising awareness, doing all of that to get people on the line, to let them know that they deserve better. That's all I actually want to tell you. You deserve better, and there are ways to go about it. Mounting pressure locally and internationally. People are upset that I was reading somewhere where our brothers and sisters, the Biafrans, they are like, chatting about the leadership of Department of State of IPOB not allowing them to go ahead and show their real support for Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. You are upset, I understand. There's a lot going on right now that you would want to, you know what I mean, but you need to relax. You need to calm down because, in Nigeria, right, the government of Nigeria, they are ready to kill as many people as they want, turn this to a bloodbath, a bloodshed. That is in no way going to help the Biafran struggle. It's never going to in any way. What we should be working towards is how to reduce the bloodshed. Reduce those that ever gets into the trap or into the waiting hand of all this terrorist government. We should not be setting people up to let them go and get killed by these people. I know many of you are upset. Many of you are feeling somehow. I know I may not have all the right to advise you on this, but I think logically, if you are being told not to protest in Nigeria, if you are being told as IPOB member not to group in anywhere because of Nnamdi Kanu, it is for your own safety and it's for the good of the what do you call it? Of the campaign, so to say. But you see, everybody who is an IPOB member from outside Nigeria, from all over the world, they owe it to you. They owe it to Nnamdi Kanu to continue to hold out for him, to continue to hold rallies, protest every day all over the world. They hold that to him. And because nobody's going to shoot at them. But the message will still be delivered. Yes, I would love to see many people in Abuja if they ever bring him to court on the 26th of July, which would be great to have all of you show solidarity physically. But don't go and group anywhere. Don't call any meeting. Don't do all of these things because that is exactly what they want to continue the bloodbath and the bloodshed. Don't give them that chance. But again, I can only say it. I have no real right or any standing to tell you what to do. But I can imagine why Nnamdi Kanu himself suspended all the IPOB meetings all over the eastern Nigeria. He did, you remember? Before this whole thing happened. So yeah, you want to go out and show that love. You want to go and show your anger. You want to do all of that. But you're going to play into their hands. We're going to be seeing our brothers and sisters in their pool of blood. Innocent people, harmless people, right? Being massacred and many of you dehumanized. And they will begin to demand that they should release you. We shouldn't be setting ourselves up. And that's what I see to it. The same thing with those who are expecting the Yorubas to stage a massive rally in Nigeria to go and challenge them and all of that. That is like us setting ourselves up. We need more solid base before we go out next time. And since the governors are beginning to see the light themselves, we should continue to give them the pressure, to give the support and the security and protection to everybody who is a Yoruba nation supporter or agitator in Yoruba land. Is our land. We shouldn't be hunted and killed or called a criminal in Yoruba land. That should never continue. Or if you ask people to come out and protest because they attempted to kill Sunday Igboho, which is the right thing to do, and I have to commend those who did, by the way, because people still came out and they protested to the palace of Olubadan of Ibadan. But I am not going to be one of those who is going to ask you that tomorrow we have to do a mega rally, a show of power and all of that. I will be pretty much setting you up. But if you ask me to be part of those who are going to ask us never to stop bringing the world attention to what they are doing to our people back in Nigeria, all over the world, then you have me at the forefront. We continue to man the pressure. All of you have closer ties, relationship with some of these political office holders in Yoruba land. Use your position, use your lobbyist idea, influence them. Let them know that once we have a good base, Yoruba can make a real show of force, and then we'll wait for them to come and kill us. That is possible. That is what I want to see.
what we saw at what do you call it? What we saw at Alaba. Let me see if I still have it. I'll share it with you. Watch this. Three people. They killed 3 Biafrans. I have been looking for their names everywhere so that I can mention their names because they have names. They are not just statistics. They are not just numbers. They are human beings who have hope, dream, aspiration like you and me, what they want to be next week, what they want to do next year, what are their expectations and dream, what are they doing in that market. They were working and doing their businesses until these trigger-happy criminals jumped in and killed 3 of them.
No referendum, no voting. We are not going to vote.
I'm having an issue with my video.
No referendum, no voting. IPOB can never vote. I said
those audio and all of that. I'm sorry, the videos. So I have where they actually shot at these guys. I don't know if it's denied. If it's not, then I'm sorry, I'll have to show you some other time. It's not. So, however, we also got a report from Anambra where even despite the fact that they are holding on to Nnamdi Kanu, somebody they made the northern Buhari idiots believe that is the cause of their problem. The moment you have Nnamdi Kanu in custody, maybe the Boko Haram will stop, maybe the bandits will stop, but they never stopped. They said they try so much to pin the unknown gunmen sponsored by the Nigeria DSS, killing the policemen and all of that. They try so much to pin them on Nnamdi Kanu, but they are holding him now. But yet, from Anambra, the story is still the same.
Ekago, Anambra State. This is terrible. It's a terrible situation. All the whole occupants of these 2 vehicles, Ekago, Anambra State, a Toyota Tundra and the Lexus Black, all the whole occupants killed with a rapid gunshot. Honestly, all the police escorts, all the whole people occupied, all the whole occupants of this vehicle has been killed, and the guys drove down to Idani Junction. Nobody knows their destination. Maybe unknown gunmen, or they are looking for these guys. Whatever may be the case, this is a terrible situation. Look at the whole men lying on the floor. Some are even on top of fire. Fire burning them. Some are on the floor. Men are trying to see if they can rescue them, but I think there's no way. They cannot rescue anybody because the fire is much that all the whole cars. Look at this policeman inside the gutter. And it's a terrible situation, honestly, this evening, happening in Abatete, Anambra State, by a cargo roundabout. It's terrible. A rapid gunshot, not even a slow shot, a rapid gunshot. Terrible. Wow. Wow.
Rapid gunshots. People are still being killed everywhere, left, right, and center. There is no government to protect anybody. There is no police, there is no military. Rather, the military are busy going after all the activists, people they can jail, like those they took from what they call Dunami's church in Abuja. They kidnapped 5 people for wearing Revolution Now and then Buhari must go t-shirt. A church actually kidnapped them and handed them over to the DSS. And they haven't stopped since then, just to show a show of force, a show of power. They said house of God is not a house of protest, but Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was the first person to protest inside the synagogue. You know why? He disagreed with what they were doing inside the synagogue. He said, my father's house is not meant to be a gambling house. But today, many of all those buildings, commercial centers built, called churches in Nigeria, which are pretty much like, casino centers where they make money, commercial centers. Dunamis Church in Abuja, a house of God that should be where people run to when they are running away from those who are persecuting them, is actually a refuge of kidnappers, which is led by Onoche. That other guy, that pastor, Onoche is called, a man of God, evil men of the dog, as they are. I captured something. I want to share that with you before I go.
Our families and our relatives. Until today, for the past 7 days, our relatives remain DSS at the headquarters. We went to the headquarters today, and the headquarters attempted to arrest me. They use security officers. They use security officers to intimidate us. But I want to put it to you. I want to put it to you because I believe you are parents, sir. You are parents. If you have a young person in detention and you attempt to protest such, and such a church uses security officers to intimidate you, how would you feel? And that's why we have come here. And people are also doing this across Dunamis branches to vent our anger against the Dunamis church, arresting our church member, arresting Christians, fellow Christians who came to the church to express themselves. As much as I know, and you would agree with me that people have a right to protest. People have a right to express themselves.
That you have trouble around you.
Don't respect God, not a place. Now we are doing this across all the branches. This is a medium for us to express ourselves and then send a message through their branch to the GO, to Pastor Paul NHA, to immediately swing into action and ensure that our colleagues are.
But they are still grandstanding. They are fighting Showore. Then the next thing was that they attempted to kill Showore at that same place, House of God. House of God. Someone sent me a message and he said, I think he was watching the broadcast I did this afternoon, where I spoke about this Salafist terrorist apologist in Nigerian government, and I named names. Buhari, I named names. Issa Pandemic, Issa Patantami, and many of them who are terrorist apologists, who are working so well, these Fulani terrorists working so well to exterminate the Shiites. You saw what they did to them. Within 6 years, they have killed over 1,400 of them. So many of them were buried in shallow graves. Their offense, because they are practicing a different style of Islam that these Salafist criminals, these Taliban apologists, who believe that even if I become a Muslim now, right? To them, I am not a real Muslim. Then I mentioned that in my broadcast, and one Egmo, I don't know if he's watching right now, and he came there. Maiyegun, I enjoy watching your program. But I don't agree with you attacking my religion. I'm a Muslim. Blah 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 blah. Blah nonsense. You cannot. I don't appreciate you attacking my religion. Oloshi Olofo, attacking your religion. Are you a Salafist? Are you a terrorist? Are you a Salafist, a Taliban? Are you? So if you are a Taliban apologist, if you are a terrorist apologist, somebody who feels happy when infidels are killed, then I don't have any apology for you. If you feel attacked by what I said, I don't have any apology for you. Even if I tell you what's in my mind, maybe that will be the time that I'm actually going to offend you. I don't really, that's how it is. Oh, let's be honest. Oh, I'm talking about terrorists, and I differentiate it. We know those. I have Muslim friends here, right? Don't tell me about Islam. I was raised as one as well. I was raised as a Muslim. So when you come around and you feel like somebody who is not a Muslim in your own kind of Islam, that person is an infidel, and therefore, if they do any bad thing to them, in the name of Allah, it is right. And then when I tell you that there is nothing like that, except for those of you who have chosen that style in your own way, even those who are Muslim like yourself, you still fight them. Are you not fighting them with those difference in ideology? Am I lying? Or do you think I'm making that up? Or do you think I don't have all the know-hows about that? So when I now begin to point them out and say, okay, you can differentiate all your style of Islam you want. It is your choice, and I respect that. But if your Islam says I'm an infidel, kò ní dá fún Islam to practice. Tó bá dùn ẹ́, lọ fọ́rí ẹ mọ́rí òkúta. You can kill yourself if you want. You can do whatever you want to yourself. Kò ní ragbá fún ẹ, kò ní dá fún Islam ẹ tó ló ń ṣe. If any of your Islam look at me, and look at me because I am not a Muslim, right? And you're in your own type of teaching, because I was raised as a Muslim. I was never raised to hate anybody because they are not Muslims. Do you understand? So if your Islam says, I am an infidel, Oma blue ni ati wat Islam. I have Muslim friends where I grew up, right? You have family members who are Christians. You have family members who are Muslims. You have, I've told you all of this. And when I see these Salafis, these criminals who are using the name of Islam and their agenda with what we know, hiding behind Islam, persecuting everybody that doesn't believe in what they believe in, including those they call the Shiites. Are you going to say the Shiites are not Muslim? Can you say that? The Shiites are not Muslim. Are they not killing them? What did they do? What is their offense? Did they kill anybody? Did they kidnap anybody? Did they fight anybody? But when the Salafis gained power, they went for them. They alternate. You think say we don't know? You're doing that in the name of Islam. I am a Yoruba man. If I'm a Muslim now, you from that Salafist part, you will look at me and say, you don't mind them. They call themselves Muslim. We don't believe in the... Don't you know that? So don't look at me and think that whatever madness that is going on in your head, you feel attacked because I talk about those who cannot tolerate me, who cannot tolerate others, who cannot believe that if you have to be in a country, everybody have right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. I can believe in anything. I can tell you that this spoon is what I believe in. You see this spoon? If I point it to you, anything that is happening to you will disappear. It is none of your business. As long as I'm not asking you to pay me to use my spoon. And I'm not putting you in chains that you must accept my spoon as your God. I can choose it. And I can believe in it. I can stand by it. What you owe me is to respect me. As long as I know they touch you. As long as I know they bring my madness to you. Call them anything. But as long as I know shall bring them close to you. You too. As long as you keep what you believe in. Respect, mutual respect is all we need. It is not the fear or the intimidation of what your God can do or what your God cannot do. But we have people who have used that to hoodwink people to gain power. They have used that repeatedly to make people believe that they are talking to Allah, they are talking to God, they are talking to this, they are talking to this unseen spirit, telling them that they are going to be better, they are going to be good, or they are not going. All that thing. That is affecting people like us who don't want to believe in that nonsense. And that doesn't mean that you that believe. It's not that yours is nonsense. The nonsense part of it is that when some group of animals put themselves together to kidnap school children, that is a crime. Are you with me? Therefore, what you have to do is that you go after them. You get them, you pick them, kill those you can kill, because it's an act of terrorism in this country. If your girlfriend come to your house and then she decided that she's going, maybe for any reason, that she said, well, she's not staying anymore, she's leaving, and you decided to lock the door. If she should put a call to the police, and the police should come to the door to open that door, you will be charged for kidnapping. And you know what? You will be lucky. For that singular thing alone, you will be lucky not to spend a lot of your life in prison. So when you have people who commit crimes, when you go after them, that is the right thing to do. You don't sit back and say, we are praying to Allah. We have told God, he said 7 days. something is going to happen and all these people, they will just die. That is something I would likely want to question when somebody said that to me. So why should that offend you? Why should you feel offended? If I want to ask you that, I don't believe that. I would rather believe that you put a plan in place and you go in there, rescue those you can rescue, and kill those terrorists that you can kill to serve as an example that don't ever take children or anybody. But when you don't do that, and then you are telling me that God told you that something will happen, and I said, to hell with you and that your God, how does that then insult you and your religion? And how does that affect you, who happens to be just listening to me right now? How does that insult your religion? How does that insult your God? How would you take it away from me, talking to somebody who wanted to manipulate me because of using the God? Because he believes that once he mentions God or mentions something more invincible, I shouldn't be asking questions. Asking more questions means that I am calling for trouble, because that's the only way to escape responsibility. And I choose not to be part of those who will never ask people who should be responsible to be responsible. And you can't use God to deceive me. You can't use God to escape an answer. You can't use God or your religion to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, because that would be manipulative. That is unacceptable. And I can tell you, to hell with you and that your God. So you listening to me should never feel affected, except if you are one of those who also believe that when a politician failed to build road, when politicians fail to build electricity or build hospitals or build schools or pay teachers or pay doctors, yes, you have to face incessant industrial actions. Doctors will have to strike. You have to face a shortage of staff in your schools. Your children will have to be miseducated or poorly educated. You know, you have to drive on the death trap road that can take your life anytime or disable you anytime. In a way, you can't tell me that God wishes that all that happens to you simply because nobody wants to take responsibility for it. That's the difference. And when I'm talking about those I'm talking about who have used these manipulative tools many times, don't take it personal. Don't think you can manipulate people and say, you should watch it. God, Thomas of making watch mouth me. That same you and that your God, no. Because that God will help, you know it. Could help, could build or not, could build hospital, could build anything, as politicians are telling you. Because that God, to a real God, maybe you could believe in, that God should be a God that install brain into your head. The brain that will make an Oyinbo man to invent a microphone. The brain that makes Oyinbo man to invent internet, to invent this medium I am using to talk to you right now without having to hope for it. And don't let those motherfuckers that will always tell you that until maybe that God inspire you this or that, those are the people who deceive you. And I don't belong to that. That's why I said everything that is practical, let us lay them bare, so that at least when it fails, you can check it. You can even try to, in a way, amend it and see and try it some other way, rather than be hopeless on something that will never work. Nigeria is not working. We need to push for something bigger, something massive, something that will indeed shake the foundation enough that will make a difference. Let's start with the Yoruba nation. Let the Biafrans continue with the Biafra Republic. Let everybody continue to demand for something that says we will take it all. Since Nigeria is about winner takes it all, right? Let the Fulanis and their elite, let them keep the Nigeristan. That's what we demanded for. And we are not asking for war. No, we are not. We didn't ask for war before they brought one to us now. What we are doing is that we are trying to stop one. And you, as a Yoruba man, a Yoruba woman, as an Igbo man, Igbo woman, as a Biafran, and from wherever you come from, as a Southerner, use your position now. From outside the country, from inside as well. I don't support the internal protest anymore. I am not going to be in any way, but that doesn't mean that people won't do what they have to do. You know that people will still have to do what they have to do. But I don't support you grouping anymore in Nigeria, in any part, in any way, if you are really not ready for a real revolution. A revolution that can actually spark a real change. And when they ask you, what are you demanding for? We want a Dual Republic. They can start with autonomy. Give us time to break up. We can let you have autonomy, control your resources, control everything. There's no more Abuja power, Abuja this anymore. That is possible while we are still alive. And that will be a journey to that referendum. A referendum, there will be a journey to the independent country that all of us want to have. And like I said, you have a role to play. Like I am doing right now, you should be doing same. Look around you, talk to people, talk to your brothers and sisters, tell them, yes, it may take time. Yes, it may looks like it is a little bit, dicey right now. It's a little bit fluid right now, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a destination. It doesn't mean that this demand, this advocacy doesn't have a good end, but it is a marathon, not a sprint. You can do it too. Talk to people, talk to somebody. Let that somebody talk to somebody. Let that one talk to somebody. As we always do, share the broadcast. Make it your own way of protesting and mobilizing at the same time. And let me tell you something, right? It is even closer than what you can imagine. It is closer to us than what you can believe. But you will never have to, we should never soft pedal, continue firing. They say we are talking. We will not stop talking because it is working. And who told you that we can't stop the 2023 election since the Fulanis themselves are already working to stop the election anyway? Why can't we just give them what they want? Go and read 48 Laws of Power. So you will learn a lot of new things. And this is not just because you are going to go out there to do it by yourself if you can't, right? It's because you will learn, understand the game of power enough that you can use what you hear on Maiyegun's Diary Political and talk to people that you never believe you can talk to. Let me tell you something. If I could reach out to thousands and millions from my platform, right, sitting down here, talking to you about what I feel, where many of you also kind of key into that and in a way align with what I believe in and what I also say, in a way, right, that's the same way you should give it a shot too. 2 person, 3 person, 4 people, 5 people, on and on and on, you will grow the number. When your number joins with that my sister's number, when that my sister's number joins with that my brother's number, from Biafra down to Oduduwa Republic, from Oduduwa Republic straight down to the Middle Belt, the Kwara Rafa Republic, even back to the Niger Delta region where everybody wants to be free, then the day of reckoning, the revolution that will sweep everywhere, then we will never get lost in the shovel when the revolution finally happens, because it is coming and it is going to be a real, I don't want to use bloody, I don't want to use violent, but it's going to be a real revolution. This time around, it won't be just the cell phone, cell phone, flags, flyers, and then a selfie stick protest or revolution anymore. It will be a real one. And when we have the number, we will run them out of town. We want it peacefully. Alenura, thank you. Nigeria was founded on freedom of religion. You don't have any right to take someone's life for your beliefs. That is terrorism. Of course, you don't kill people because of their belief. You don't think and brag that when somebody offend your God, offend anything at all, they deserve to be killed or maimed, or you know what I mean. That is the foundation of bloodshed that Nigeria is built on. And that is why the only people who can stop and change it is just you and I. It's an opportunity, a very rare one. We have the platform. We are good enough to have a lot of platforms that are big enough to continue to tell you that we can do it. It is possible from everywhere. Give that support. Key together. Blend together. Network yourselves. Talk to one another from all over the world. Keep the flame burning, like I'm doing right now. Don't get tired. Don't look back and say, oh, with what is happening now, we can't have Nnamdi Kanu, or we don't know where Sunday Igboho is. Listen to me. These people have played their part. They are still playing their part as we speak, but play yours. Play yours. We can make it a straight home run, but we need ourselves. We should know what we are looking for. I wish I can come here and begin the process of breaking things down enough for you, for the capacity that every one of you have, state by state, or better still, let's just use it regionally. Then you can tell yourselves that you are better off without Nigeria. It starts from the autonomy. If you don't ask for it, you don't get it. Here in the UK, it's a popular saying, if you don't ask, you don't get. I am so happy that the Yorubas are demanding for Yoruba nation. And as we speak today, they will not come back and start begging us with restructuring anymore. They will rather come back and say, okay, if we want to break up, let us sit down and discuss it. And any arrangement that will bring everybody to the table, I am in for it. Let the Biafrans be on the table. Let everybody be on the table. Let the Yorubas be there. Table our demand. Go into referendum. Carry our people along. Let those who really want to represent Yoruba take charge. All these old things are processes that will take time, but it starts from educating ourselves, enlightening ourselves, telling ourselves that we can do it. All we need is that number. All we need is that cohesion. All we need is that collaboration. Whatever we can do to unite, whatever it can take for us to harmonize all our own wishes and our want, demand, all of these things can be harmonized and make a very, very strong front that can make a difference. Stick to your gun. Hold on to it. Don't change it. Don't bend it. Let them keep talking about 2023. Let them keep talking about power shift and power this or that. But mind you, we have something bigger we are demanding, but we need ourselves beyond that 2023 stuff, okay? This is my own submission. I wanted to take calls earlier, but I won't because the time has run out. But I will see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow, before I go back to work, I'm going to go back to work on Friday anyway. And I think I have some holidays again afterward. However, tomorrow, I'll use the opportunity to hear from all of you. Every one of you want to call in, just as usual. There's a lot to always catch up on. But if you're just joining me right now, yeah, you haven't really missed much, okay? All you can do right now is that you can watch this all over again. Skip anywhere you have an advert that you don't want to watch, okay? And to my friends who are platinum, premium subscribers of Maiyegun General Political, thank you to all of you. People say they don't receive notification anymore whenever Maiyegun is live on YouTube. Check your notification. If you don't set it up, probably you will never know that Maiyegun is live. And whenever Maiyegun is live, if you see me on Facebook, 100% certain that I'm going to be live on YouTube, especially if I am really broadcasting, not just freestyling in my kitchen. All right. So once you check the page of Maiyegun General Political on YouTube, on Facebook, you're also going to see the link to the YouTube channel. But why not just subscribe? Click on there, go on there now. You will see it, subscribe. Right? Click on it. Leave the chat room. Leave the Facebook. Go on to YouTube now. Search for Maiyegun General Political. Very easy to find. Click on one video. Go on to the YouTube channel. You will see me live right now. Underneath there, you can subscribe. It's so easy, like just clicking like. And to my friends on YouTube, as usual, before you leave, you can also leave that your thumb up. All right? It is called engagement. And to my friends who also give me thumb down, I hope I'll see you some other time. After this thumb down, 4 people gave me thumb down, and so far so good. I have over 700 of you who have given me a thumb up out of over 2,000 of you. You can do better. Now let's give that a sec before we go. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Well, yeah, Oduduwa Anthem, something everybody is learning every day. Good night.
Masiberu la bomo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn.